If I were to do it again, would I get this camper? I've been on the road with this 2002 Sunlite camper for like over a month now, so I want to give you the pros and cons, why you wouldn't want to live in a truck camper, especially an old one like this, and also why you would. The things that have broken on it in the month plus that we've been living in it. But before we get into that, I have a mission. We have to go into Los Angeles. We are on our way down to Mexico. We traveled all the way from Pennsylvania. Now it is the time to go into Los Angeles. And this is a big deal for me personally because I haven't been back in Los Angeles since I lived there in like 2017. I don't know, it's been years and I'm a very different person now. Today is the day we're going to reclaim Los Angeles. We camped last night on this pole up on the side of the road, and as we get closer to Los Angeles, the camping spots get very crowded, but we were able to pop the top up, so it was nice. There's just a lot of other people here. Los Angeles is incredibly crowded. I'm nervous going into it because we have to drive this thing in the city. And just in general, Los Angeles to me is a very strange place. Let's go to Los Angeles.
California, where do I start? Heavy breathing and heavy heart. I long to see you when the day is done.
Santa Monica, I used to frequent here a lot, doing acro yoga and stuff. I feel weird vlogging behind me right there, Santa Monica Pier. Gross. I hate piers. If you're new here and you don't know anything about my past, I'm sorry. I'm just going down memory lane for a second. But we'll get back on the road very soon. And now we are going to skedaddle to Venice to get some coffee. And then I'm going to show you where I first moved into my little apartment in Koreatown, Venice. It has been interesting driving. I'm not driving. Like, I would not come to Los Angeles if it was just me by myself, because I cannot drive here. I would have an aneurysm. But driving this, being in this, with the tow mirrors, we were driving down like a smaller lane and another car was coming and they didn't stop, so we had to like go to the side, and our mirror hit and knocked off someone else's side mirror. We went back and we fixed it. But we left a note and everything with the phone number. When I first moved here, I paid, I think it was like $500 a month for a bunk bed in artist housing, like basically a hostel right in downtown Los Angeles. It was terrible. But after that, I moved to a studio apartment with my best friend at the time, and we shared that apartment for a while. So we're gonna go there in Koreatown. And there's a place that we always went to called BCD Tofu House. I remember being really, really good and very satisfying and open 24/7. I don't know if it's because after COVID or what, but it just doesn't seem as crazy busy as it was when I lived here. We are here at BCD finally after years and years. The pricing has definitely gone up. My best friend and I would come here and just eat and eat, and they give you so many cool appetizers. Hello. Yeah. The thing I like the best about BCD is they give you like so many appetizers, like endless appetizers. The best kimchi here too. It's crazy being here after so many years, but everything's the same. So I got my usual order that I always got. And I asked her less tofu because I don't eat soy anymore. She's like, this is Tofu House. So I'm like, oh, right. Excuse me, sorry. So they still give me just as much tofu, but I took it all out. And I'm just eating this with like the rice and broth, and it's so good. Walking around the old place, and it's similar to what I remember, I think. Here's the place. It's so weird. 716. That's where I used to live. Vehicles right here have no driver. All right, today's sponsor is Astro, and I have the S8 Ultra Jump Starter here. This is really important for an overlanding setup or camping or just having in your vehicle in general, especially if you're solo, because sometimes you don't have someone that can help you jump your vehicle if the battery goes dead. Astro AI Basically, it's a multifunctional jump starter. So not only is it a jump starter, it has a flashlight. It's also a power bank, so you can charge things off of it. And it's super, super durable. It's shockproof. It's waterproof. It has a smart function where it automatically delivers the appropriate amount of voltage to the battery. SA Ultra Jump Starter uses 2400 milliamp hours lithium battery that delivers 45C rate and 4000 A current. It can boost up to 10-liter gas and 8-liter diesel engines. So basically your vehicle is probably covered under this. So from today when this video is out, there's 7 days, 12/9 to 12/15, where there's a best deal, 36% off plus a $30 coupon discount, and you can find that in my description below. Back to the adventure. If I said this or not, but Henry was able to fix the water pump. Crazy how much of a difference it makes to have a running sink. Just doing some cleaning up here. I'm gonna do the dishes real fast, and then we're gonna finally move on down to San Diego. We are right underneath the Lax Airport, and there's like this waste plant over here, but this is like a little campground in between it, and it's very expensive. If you want to know how expensive it is, no hookups, no anything, just to be able to park in this spot. I think you get a little picnic table. It's $55. And if you wanted the actual hookups, like to be able to plug in your RV and stuff, that's $85. Listen to this pump. It's a lot quiet. Well, you can't hear it because of the airplane, but it's a lot quieter than the other pump. I think coming to LA was a good idea in the end, because it really showed me that a place is what you make it. A place is a place, and you attribute your own meaning onto it. And I feel like I've grown so much since I lived in Los Angeles. This is just another place. I think where I'm at, or where you're at in your life, it's not always the general reality. You know, things can change, things can always be better. So don't give up hope in that sense. But it was just a whole growing process, and I'd like to, you know, continue to go to places and reclaim them as who I am now. That always changes. It's a never-ending adventure. Pleasant experience. Who would have thought? LA.
Alright, well, it's time to leave this weird area.
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get to Mexico. This is the last day that we're going to be in the States. But I did want to go over the pros and cons of buying an old truck camper, specifically this Sunlite one, but this could probably apply to most older truck campers, pop-up ones. We actually just tried to stay at this RV park along this beach right here, but they literally denied us and turned us away. This is the last one before Mexico, so we have nowhere to stay tonight. I have to find street parking and do stealth camping before we do the whole Mexico border crossing, which is frustrating. We don't have a toilet in ours. It's not self-contained, even though there was a restroom right on the RV park place. But she's like, no, you don't have a flush toilet, so you can't stay here. I guess that's a con of this camper, is that some places won't let you in because of it, but I've never experienced that except for here. I'm so ready to get out of San Diego area. Just the whole West Coast has been really difficult for camping, and it's just been very expensive. Let's go and get into the pros and cons and what has broken on here, why I would not buy an old truck camper, and also why I would buy one if I were you. If you're new here, this is a 2002 Sunlite pop-up short bed truck camper. This weighs around 1,000 pounds. This is the smallest, shortest one that I could find in my area. I way overpaid. I would not recommend you get an old truck camper if you pay a lot for it. If you can find one real cheap, go for it. Let's go through the pros first. Let's be positive for a second, because some people critique me on my negativity. So we'll be positive. The first thing about this truck camper is, with the right truck, you can go anywhere your truck can go. This is lightweight enough to where if you get the proper tie downs, you can go wherever your 4x4 will take you. Also, this truck camper can actually fit in a kind of like a mid-size one. You don't need like a full-size truck to haul it. So this is a Toyota Tundra 5.7 liter, and it's been doing quite good. One of the cons could be that it's not the best for suspension, but this truck has been handling it very well. With this camper, your only rent really is gas. And also, I mean, you pay for RV parks sometimes and things like that, but you can also find free camping, wild camping. I wouldn't say that the RV lifestyle is cheap by any means. Along that same line, this can go places other RVs and other two-wheel drives cannot go if you have the right truck. So you can get this camper pretty much anywhere that like a 4x4 with okay clearance can get to, which is one of the most important things to me and why I wanted to get a camper to go on top. I mean, kind of the point of a camper is to have appliances and stuff, but needless to say, it has a fridge, sink, stove, the necessity in a bed table for you, which is very nice rather than like living out of your car or something like that. So it is definitely an upgrade from that. For specifically a pop-up, it's better for wind resistance and also clearance. You know, there's clearance things that you need to be a certain height. If you have one that's just always up, you can't get under some places. And I think that might be an issue in Mexico. I don't know yet. We'll see. But that's another big reason why I wanted a pop-up one. You can always take this off your truck if you don't want it on anymore. So that's good. You can't do that with a camper van. You invest tons of money into your camper van, and if the engine breaks, your home's broken. So that's another reason that I wanted a pop-up camper. You can get these pretty cheap. I didn't, but you can in certain places, so that's another pro, I suppose. Another pro is it's pretty roomy for the size. Like on the outside, it doesn't look very big, but it's roomy enough. It's good. Like I think it's a good amount of room. And this one in particular is lighter weight. So that's the pros that I've seen in the past month and a half of living out of it. And now we're going to get into the cons. Now, I'm going to go through the cons of this, and I don't want you to think of being negative. I'm just telling you my experience. Also, this is my home. So it's still my home. And we got a Christmas tree that we're gonna decorate with. I wanna put a little more decorations in, maybe some fairy lights and a wreath or something. But for now, we got this little El Woody, I don't know, Christmas tree to put in. This is our designated plant pot. It fits perfect in there, so festive. I hope that doesn't need too much sunlight. Let's go through the cons of this camper. One of the cons is it can be cramped for two people. But like I said before, it's pretty good space. This thing is not insulated at all. So it's not good for any type of cold weather camping. Like anything below, I'd say like 40, 30 degrees, it's really cold. We've survived, but it's just not fun. There's no insulation, especially with the canvas. The appliances in this are not efficient because again, it's an old camper and the technology was good for its day, but now not so much. Leaks are very common in these. If you've seen me do the build out of this, it still kind of even gets some moisture in it when it's rained, even after doing all the sealing and stuff. But sometimes you just have to be like, we're in an area that can dry out pretty quickly, but that has been the bane of my existence with this thing. When you buy an old truck camper, there's a big possibility for a lot of rot and a lot of water damage. You have to like look very deeply into what you're buying, because most likely if it's an old camper, if it's had any amount of time outside sitting, it's gonna have some sort of rot and water damage that you have to fix. It just depends on how much. We just did all our laundry, so it's just piled up. We need to like put everything together before we find some sort of stealth camping place tonight. Along with appliances, the heater in this has gotten really loud. It's very loud. I don't know if it's the same for all older truck campers, but it is too loud. You can't even talk to each other. And then whenever it's off, it's cold. When it's on, you just can't hear anything. I don't like the canvas. I really do not like this canvas. Even if the canvas wasn't kind of mildewed, even if it was like in perfect condition, I don't really like the look of it. It doesn't look very homey to me. And you can kind of see it in the back. And I don't even like sleeping up there because the canvas is it has had, mildew and stuff on it. So it does sometimes smell just a little bit, and I'm very sensitive with smell. And I don't know, just in general, there is a reason, I got the pop-up, but I don't think I'd get another one unless it was very new and it had a different type of canvas. I don't like this canvas at all. For this camper, cranking up and down can be a huge hassle. It's nice that you can make it more squished and everything, but at the same time, it is a big tear down and setup. It's not really very good in the wind. It gets quite scary actually, and tight with this canvas. It scares me. I took the legs off of this one, but the legs stick out a lot if you don't take them off. And if you don't take them off, it's also hard to transport them because they're incredibly heavy. We have ours on the side. We brought them with us just in case, but it's a hassle to take them off. It's a hassle to put them back on, and it's a hassle to drive with them. I don't like them. Another con is some RV parks don't allow them. This one didn't allow ours. Some of them don't allow it because when you get an old camper, you're not allowed in certain RV parks because they're bougie. Some RV parks don't allow canvas tops actually, so you're not allowed there. And then apparently some RV parks don't allow you without a toilet. Those are some of my cons from living in this thing. Before the sun goes down, I'm on the beach right now. I want to tell you the things that broke, which there's not a lot actually. There was a lot of broken things before I fixed all of them, but along the month and a half that we have been here, the things that have broke on the truck camper, the water pump broke. We got 3 big tears in the plastic. The crank keeps getting more and more chewed up. We replaced the whole crank originally, and it did help, but it's still getting kind of chewed. The heater is just getting progressively louder and louder. Like, I don't know why, but the heater is so loud now. It was not that loud before. And the windows started flapping in the wind, so we had to tape that down. Would I buy this truck camper again? No, I wouldn't, obviously. I wouldn't buy this one. Would I buy another old truck camper that's a pop-up camper? No. After this experience, I would not. I don't think I would buy one that was also not a pop-up camper. Just the age of these campers, they're not meant to last that long. And what I've learned through this experience is unless you get it dirt cheap and you already have a truck for it, it's way too much money. That's my honest opinion on that. It's not out of negativity, it's more of just practicality and being realistic. I did what I could with the money that I had at the time. I didn't have enough to get a new camper. I still don't. So I'm super grateful for my home, okay? Anyways, we have to go because we have to get all of this stuff around, go stealth camp and get up super early in the morning, and we're gonna go cross the Mexican border. That is the overview of my camper for the past month and a half. I hope that enlightened you. Stay extraterrestrial, and I'll see you in Mexico, hopefully this all goes well.